Hello everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Welcome to GK Today. This is Arzu Kakkar. Let us have a look over today's important current affairs. Before starting, let me tell you that these questions are a part of your GK Today Daily 20 MCQ series that you can get on GK Today's Android application app. So do install it, and on that particular app there are more than 500 plus questions that you can avail every month. Category wise questions are also available and many more things. So do refer to this. Moving on to the very first question. Which category is the highest contributor of per capita greenhouse gas emissions? So give it a thought. Give it a thought. Yeah. So arrive to an answer. If you think that USA is that country with the highest who is the country which is the highest contributor of per capita greenhouse gas emission, option B, then you are absolutely correct. If you have gone through the emission gap report, this report is by UNEP. So this is the direct answer from this report. Let us have a look over emission gap report. The report which is the 13th edition of United Nations Environment Program, right? UNEP, let me tell you a rough about UNEP. So United Nations Environment Program is a global environmental authority which was established on 5th of June 1972, right? The headquarter is in Nairobi, Kenya. As far as UNEP is concerned, I'll take one important point of UNEP, but please do have a look that according to emission gap report, India's per capita greenhouse gas emissions were at 2.4 ton carbon dioxide equivalent, and the world average is of 6.3 ton carbon dioxide equivalent in 2020. So yes, we are far below world average, but US has contributed the highest emissions of 14 ton carbon dioxide emission. Then comes Russia with 13 ton carbon dioxide equivalent, and then comes China with 9.7 ton carbon dioxide equivalent, right? So this is the order. You can remember that. If asked what other reports are major reports by UNEP, you can have a look over them as well. Emission gap report, adaptation gap report, just a second, global environment outlook, frontiers, invest into healthy planet. So these are some of the major reports by UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. Okay, next is your bilateral exercise. The name of the exercise is Garuda, the 7th edition. It is conducted by Air Force of India and which other country? So Garuda is a exercise between Air Force of India, and on the other side the country is, if you are thinking France, are you thinking the same? Then we both are correct. Option B is the right answer. France is the other side. So one side is Indian Air Force, IAF, and on the other side there is FASF, French Air and Space Force. So they are participating. It is a bilateral exercise which is named as Garuda 7th edition, where at Jodhpur. Please do remember that. So India is hosting it, and at Jodhpur. India is hosting this for the 4th time so far. And this is taking place, this exercise takes place after the gap of 2 years. Both the countries basically enhance their capability, their operational capability. They share the best practices with each other, right? So this particular exercise provide a platform. This platform, this exercise provides a platform to the countries, right? But other important fact that is very important, if you are going with India and France exercise, so please do remember Varun. It is a naval exercise between India and France. Then comes Shakti. It is army exercise between India and France. And the third one is Desert Night 21, air exercise between India and France. Clear? Question can be asked. Please do remember that. Okay. Then coming to the next question, which country, there is a country, you have to tell the name of the country that co-chaired the high-level dialogue on migration and mobility with European Union. So at the other fun side, the party is European Union. The other country you have to tell. So which country co-chaired the high-level dialogue on migration and mobility? None other than India. Option A is the correct answer. So India and European Union, they co-chaired this sixth dialogue on migration and mobility in Brussels. Very important. Please do remember the place. So there were talks. Talks were related to the issues that relate to the promotion of safety, order, and regular migration with cooperation to facilitate the mobility of CV. There are people to people connect, right? There is migration of professionals, of students and skilled workforce. So make sure that it is orderly, it is safe, and both the parties have a cooperation in this regard. So if I talk about India and European Union, so they are celebrating their 60 years of diplomatic ties, right? Do you have any 60 years relationship? We are not 60 yet. Jokes apart. Okay, so if I talk about EU, European Union, it is the third largest trading partner of India, accounting for $86.7 billion in goods trade, right? With this, I am moving to the next question. Declaration on countering the use of new and emerging technologies for terrorist purposes. This was adopted in which country? We have already taken a question, not this question, but a topic. I hope you remember that in some of the lecture. I don't remember that lecture. 2 days before might be, but this is related to that only. So there was a meeting in Mumbai and Delhi, if you remember. I'll tell you, but before that you have to answer this question. Declaration on countering the use of new and emerging technologies for terrorist purpose. This declaration was adopted in India. Option A is the correct answer, right? So the meeting that I'm talking to you is about United Nations Security Council's Counter Terrorism Committee meeting, right? So the Delhi Declaration on the countering the use of new and emerging technologies for terrorist purposes was adopted. If you remember, I talked about it while referring to there were the three agendas. So basically there were three themes we are entering into this using the drones, internet and social media, right? So make sure that these emerging technologies, they don't pose threat. Yes, they do, but we need to make sure that we have to counter all these basically these emerging technologies for terrorist purposes. We have to tackle this growing issue. We have to cover these concerns that we are surrounded with, and we need to create proper guidelines that will help in this regard. What I asked in a session before was the theme of this meeting, if you remember. For all those who remember this, well done. Countering the use of new and emerging technology for terrorist purpose is the theme of this meeting. Similar to it, there is another question. Which country announced to contribute 5 lakh US dollars to the United Nations Trust Fund for Counter Terrorism? Yes, please. Which country announced to contribute this much amount to the United Nations Trust Fund for Counter Terrorism? If you are thinking India, then you are absolutely correct. Option A is the right answer. So our India's External Affairs Minister S. J. Shankar announced that India will contribute this much amount, 5 lakh US dollars, to United Nations Trust Fund to counter terrorism. Purposes? Aim is to aid capacity building, to support the member states in combating terrorism. So representatives from all the 15 member nations of the United Nations Security Council, they attended this meeting. As I just told you now, it was hosted by India in New Delhi and Mumbai. Okay, Lakshmir Bhandar scheme is an initiative of which state government, which bagged Scotch Award also? The scheme. Then though it becomes important. You have to know the scheme is an initiative of which state government. What do you think? West Bengal? Okay, 5 seconds more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. West Bengal is the right answer. Option B. Yes, West Bengal's government came up with this scheme, Lakshmir Bhandar scheme, in August 2021. The purpose of this scheme is to provide financial support. Financial support to whom? To the women head of the family in the age group of 25 to 60 years. 500 rupees will be given to the every month to the women's in general caste category, and 1000 rupees per month will be given to the women's in SC and ST category. Clear? So, moving on to the next question. India recently observed Innovation Day 2022 with which country in October 2022? Yes. So, India recently observed Innovation Day with which country in October 2022? Take a minute. Think by yourself. You should think by yourself. Don't just go with the spoon feeding. Make a guess. Sweden? Option B? Yes. With Sweden, India observed this Innovation Day. So this is the 9th edition. Please do remember, everybody. It is the 9th edition of this annual India-Sweden Innovation Day, which was organized in Stockholm, Sweden on 27th of October. So 27th of October is the date. Place is Stockholm in Sweden, and the day is India-Sweden Innovation Day. It was attended by more than 1000 participants from across the globe. India-Sweden Innovation Day is observed every year. Every year we observe this day so as to promote our bilateral cooperations between the other with Sweden in areas like sustainable development, industrial development, sustainable industrial development, you can say, technological innovation. Through technological innovation, as we want to address your global challenges like climate change and achieving prosperity for both the countries, but through innovation. Theme for this year's event is Accelerating Green Transition India-Sweden Innovation Partnership. Who hosted? India Unlimited in association with Indian Embassy to Sweden and Latvia. India Unlimited is basically organization that was founded in 2013. Right. So it was founded to promote cross-cultural relationship between India and Sweden so as to organize to be the major, to host the major events in this regard. So this is the 9th edition, as I told you. The first edition of this day, it was observed in which year? 2013. Clear? If it is, then I'm moving to the next question. A very interesting question, I would say. As per a recent report, which country's defense ministry is the largest employer in the world? Yes, please. As per a recent report, which country's defense ministry is the largest employer in the world? What do you think? India? Really? Correct. India is the right answer. So, India's Ministry of Defense is the world's biggest employer with 2.92 million people it employs, including combined active service personnel and reservist civilian staff. After Indian Defense Ministry, it is US Department of Defense. It employs 2.91 million people. Then comes China with 2.5 million people. So this is the order. You can have a look, you can remember it. Okay, then. Next question is regarding an exercise. Which country is the host of the first edition? So it is the first edition of an exercise between India, Mozambique, and Tanzania, a trilateral exercise. So which country is the host of this first edition of exercise? Tanzania? Option C? Correct. So Tanzania, basically at Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, this exercise recently commenced between India, Mozambique and Tanzania itself. Indian Navy is represented by the Guided Missile Frigate INS Tarkash, Chetak helicopter and Marcos. 3 objectives are there for this exercise. Increasing our capacity, the capability to address the common threats, sharing the best practices, enhancing interoperability, and strengthening the maritime cooperation. Right? So this is the purpose of this exercise. A very nice question. Which ministry organizes Saras Food Festival? Here you can have a glimpse of it. Yes, please. The ministry that organizes the Saras Food Festival, don't go with B, C, D. It is simply the very first option. Ministry of Rural Development organizes this Saras Food Festival in New Delhi. There the ministry also launched a portal, that is www.esaras.in. The purpose is better marketing of Saras products prepared by women of self-help group. So what are these Saras products that I'm talking about? So basically it is food product. You can say this event, it gives the opportunities to the women self-help groups to showcase their skills in the field of food making, introducing to the people the food culture of our country, right? So it is an initiative by the rural development, empowering the women on a large scale. You are establishing Saras stalls for them in all the state capitals, major cities, airports, and railway stations. With this, let us have a look over the revision category questions. Are you ready? I am ready. So we are done with the current affairs. Next, moving to the second part of the session that talks about your revision. And first of all, I would say that please do in the settings, do improve the video quality. You can increase to your pixels. Things will be very crystal clear to you, right? Okay, then let us have a look over the very first question. It is basically related to, you can say, economic side, right? Have you read the first question? Okay, what is the question talking about? It is saying that which is the only authorized bank to issue electoral bonds in India. So in India, there is only one bank, the only authorized bank to issue electoral bonds. The name of the bank is State Bank of India. Then comes your next question. Which Indian public sector bank has inaugurated its ethical hacking lab safeguard the bank's information system, which safeguards the bank information system? So that Indian public sector bank is Union Bank of India. Okay, next question. World Bank has announced $2 billion for reconstruction and rehabilitation. Okay, to which neighboring country of India? Our neighbor, Pakistan. Next question, which is the first Indian bank to get RBI approval for rupee trade? It is your homework. As per the latest World Bank assessment, many of you will think HW. It is your homework. So you have to tell me the answer in the comment section. As per the latest World Bank assessment, which country has the highest food price inflation in the world? Please think. Meanwhile, I'll write for you. Lebanon. Right? Okay. As per the RBI notification, the Urban Cooperative Bank shall appoint a Chief Compliance Officer by which year? The next year, 2023. Which is the only bank in India to be chosen for Best Workplaces in Asia 2022 by Great Place to Work Authority? The name of the bank is Federal Bank, which is the only bank to be chosen for Best Workplaces in Asia. India's IFSCA signed a fintech cooperation agreement with the central bank of which country? The name of the country is Singapore. India Post Payment Bank has partnered with which social media platform? So Indian Post Payment Bank, they have partnered with a social media platform to promote financial literacy. That platform with which they have partnered is Koo. Clear? Next question I am reading, but you have to give the answer in the comment section. Which Indian bank launched Rainbow Savings Account exclusively for the transgender community? This is your homework. Next, coming to sports category, Pranav Anand is associated with which sports? Chess. PSU of which ministry recently signed a memorandum of understanding worth 215 crore with National Sports Development Fund. Power Ministry. Which sports person of India recently became Diamond League champion? Neeraj Chopra. Next is your homework from this category. Arvind Chidambaram plays which sports? Yes, chess. Which sports person has won the BWF World Championship title in 2022? You please think. Think. Victor Excelsen. This is the repeat question. It talks about Diamond League champion Neeraj Chopra, so it is a repetition. Okay, Linthoi Chanambam is associated with which sports? Judo. National Sports Day or Rashtriya Khel Divas is celebrated to commemorate the birth anniversary of which sports person? Major Dhyan Chand. There are some other questions also, 4 of 4 are there. Arjun Erigesi is associated with which sports? Chess. Antim Pangal, who was seen in news, plays which sports? Wrestling. Manisha Kalyan, who was recently seen in news, plays which sports? Football. And Durant Cup is associated with which sports? Football. Right? Okay. Then moving to a category that talks about the diseases that were there in the news. Please do read the very first question. What is the very first question? ICAR has transferred an agreement with which company for lumpy skin disease vaccine called Lumpy Pro Vaccine? BioVet. Lymphoma, which was seen in news, is associated with which disease? Cancer. WHO launched a 1.5 billion US dollars campaign to include a vaccine for which disease across Africa by 2030? Please think. Think. You have time. Meanwhile, I am writing for you. Bacterial meningitis. Nikshay 2.0 portal, which was launched recently, is associated with which disease? TB. Next, I am reading the question for you, but this is your homework. You have to comment. Which company has developed India's first indigenously developed RT-PCR kit for testing monkeypox disease? Please let me know. Okay. Which Indian state has reported the cases of black fever or Kala Azar disease? West Bengal. Which Indian state has recorded skin diseases caused due to Nairobi flies? Sikkim. Which Indian state has confirmed the presence of anthrax disease? Kerala. Meningococcal disease, which is currently spreading among gay and bisexuals in Florida. It is caused by, the question is, it is caused by bacteria. And the last question, what is the name of the disease which is caused by building of abnormal protein called amyloid causing organ failure? So the answer of this question is in the question itself. Amyloidosis. Right? Then comes your homework. So these are some 4 questions, and already some 3 to 4 questions I have given you from the revision category that we covered, right? So do let me know in the comment section all these questions. I'll check your answers, and with this, I Arzu Kakkad wish everybody a very best of luck. Happy learning everyone. Take care. Do like, do share, and do subscribe this channel if you like learning. So yeah, thank you. Have a nice day once again.